Okay, welcome back to my channel. We're still doing our series on our built-in barbecue. This is quite the project. So today, what we're doing is we're putting on our exterior stone. So we're using, it's a pro stone. It's a fake stone, so technically it's like concrete poured into molds. So it's just concrete on the back, and then they make nice little fancy different colors on it, different shapes on it. Looks like real stone when you actually put it all on there. So much lighter weight, easier to work with, by far cheaper. So we bought a bunch of pro stone. Now we're putting it on our hardy board. So this is the hardy backer that we're putting it on. We use this too instead of concrete boards. It's a lot easier to work with, a lot easier to cut. You can cut it with a utility knife. So we're putting that on today. And so what we're using is more of a tile. It's a professional large format tile mortar. And the reason I'm using that is because you can use it with stone, you can use it with veneer, which is what this is technically considered. So we're using that, and we're using gray. It's very important if you're using it for a project like this. You know, clearly you don't want white mortar showing through the back of these stones, as you can see where he's putting the stones on. You don't want that to be white, right? So if it is, and then you'll have to do grout in between or something like that, we want this to be gray and look natural. So we're using this, and it's pretty good. It's about $16 a bag at Home Depot, and so it's not sponsored by Home Depot. They don't sponsor
this video. Is not sponsored by Home Depot.
No, forget I said that. It's you can buy it at any of the big box retail stores, and this stuff works really well. So we're just mixing about a little bit at a time, so it doesn't get dry on us, and we're fitting our stones in, and we're just making a pattern to it. So let me show you the back of it, and the side of it, it's already done. So this is what the back really looks like. You can see we use little stones and stuff as our spacers in here, just for different things. So we used our stones in there. But basically what we did is we just made a nice pattern, made sure we were level across the whole thing. And we put vents into the back here because frankly you got propane underneath. So we did a top and bottom vent behind the built-in barbecue. We also did a bottom side vent. And our front doors, I'll do a video on the front doors. The front doors have vents already cut into them. So technically if you have any propane built up underneath your grill, you won't have a big kaboom if you ever lit it and had any kind of issues with it. So you should get a nice breeze going through it. So did that. The other thing I'll mention I did is I got these vents at Home Depot as well. Oh, I mean a big box retail store.
This is not sponsored by Home Depot.
Again, not sponsored by Home Depot. Got these, and basically all I did was I bought these white, they're aluminum vents so they shouldn't rust. They have a screen on the back because I don't want to get bugs and bees and stuff under it, so they have a screen in the back. These, because they're so far back from our barbecue, will not get hot, and so I use those for this, and I just spray painted them gray. Because if you buy aluminum vents for built-in barbecues online, you're spending probably $20 per vent. So you'd be at $20, $40, $60 per vent. This cost me $6. So $6, spray painted them gray. I don't care because it's on the back of here anyway. And then as you can see, this isn't filled in. We didn't grout these yet, but let me show you the grouting. So you can see there's some spaces there yet, right? So we want to grout those all in. So we also got a grouting bag. So this is just a bag. It's $5-6. It's a grouting bag, so it's really kind of heavy duty. And really what this is, when it's not leaking out the back of it because someone's not holding it, really what this is it's a bag that you're pretty much a frosting a cake, right? So all these little spaces in between here where you see little spots and stuff in here, we're filling all those in, and then we're going to take and we're just going to use a scrub brush and scrub down the bricks. So the bricks are the only thing that are really exposed, and everything's really kind of filled in, and it has nice gapping to it. So that's what we're really up to. We're grouting it. We're using a mortar to grout because we want the gray to match. And frankly, I think the mortar gives it some additional strength to it, which I really kind of like. And, you know, that's really it. So then we'll be done after this, but this is a lot of effort. So originally when we started, and it was a lot messier, and we didn't get a lot of bang for our buck with it. So originally what we started is we took what we used to do with tiling, right? So this is really a trowel for tile. We took this, and we basically spread it, and we used the teeth of this to give it some depth underneath it. So we did that originally on the front over here, and we found out that a couple things. One is when you did it over here, you really got a lot on the stone, and we were trying not to get so much on the stone in the fronts and stuff like that because frankly it's really a pain in the butt to get it off. So just to have to scrub it all off just kind of sucks. So we found that just taking and buttering the back of them, which is just basically taking it, and here, let me show you quick. Let me have that one for a second, sir. So taking it and just building it up a little bit, almost like so it's higher in the middle. Doing that on both sides. There we go. And then the corners, we always did a little bit more in the corner, just to give it some more. Doing something like that, then working it in real well. Just buttering them like that, working them in real well. Worked really well for what we were doing. Then you just kind of squeeze it, give it a little jiggle so it suctions to it. And that's been holding really well for us. So far so good with that. We're just gonna continue to do that kind of pattern. That's really worked well for us. And we're gonna finish up this wall. Okay, the last thing you really wanna make sure is that you continue to check your leveling. So it's gonna be hard with rough stones like this, but there's a couple things that are really kind of nice about the hardy board. One, as you can see, there's lines in it. So the lines really give you a heads up if you're going really off level. So you're gonna be a little bit off level just based on how these stones are uneven and how you're kind of patterning them into this. So I use both a big level and a little level just to keep making sure that as I'm going across that you're leveling your stones out. Last thing you want to do is find out when you get to the back or they get to the top that you have like a triangle that you're trying to fit pattern into it. And really don't have to do a lot of cutting with these stones either. You can just, there's such a variety of stones you can kind of mix and match and twist them. You know, you'll see that when we did ours, we did a couple that we stood up just to give it a different look. We stood some stones up like this, which we found out that Holly really hates, but we still did it anyway. But if it fit in or something like that, we do some that would stand up a little bit in the back. We got some larger ones that we stood up that we thought looked really nice. And so you can kind of just pattern them in. Each box of flat stones does roughly about 9, let me think about this. Yes, it does about roughly 9 square feet, right? So each box has about 9 square feet. It's about $40 a box. So not terribly expensive. And then each of the corner boxes, which you see we have corners, specific corners that you're made for it, right? So the specific corners for each box, I gotta think about this one too. Yeah, I think you get 15 linear feet. And those are roughly, I think they're roughly 60 to 80 bucks a box, something like that.
How many boxes in total did we get?
So we got a total of 5 boxes of flats, which are the wall ones, which are just anything that's flat without a corner piece, right? So we got 5 boxes of those, and so we had about 55 square feet that we needed. So we got 5 boxes, 9 square feet gets you to 54 roughly, and we had some leftover from a previous job, so we didn't worry about making exactly 55. So
it was $236.
Yeah, it was about $236 total. We got 2 boxes of corners, so to cover all of our corners, we have 5 corners that we had to cover. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. We're gonna finish up here. We're gonna get these walls done. Check back, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Tell us if you've done a project like this in the past. This is a doable project, but it's got some expense to it. So I will tell you this: just buying an island, a small island, not with the finished stone on it, not with the countertops on it, roughly will run you $1,500 to $2,000 to have you just have somebody frame it and put the hardy back or the cement board on it.
Minus the barbecue. You don't even get the barbecue.
Don't even get the barbecue with that. And it'll be about $1,500 to $2,000 for them to do that. And that's not counting, did you have to pour a concrete pad? Did you have to level it? Did you have to secure it to something? So it's $1,500 to $2,000 just for that. To have it stoned, depends on how much the stone is. Roughly, I would, they're going to charge you another charge to put the stone on it, whatever you want to pick. We wanted ours to match our pillars for our pool, so we knew what stone we already wanted. That's not counting if you want something special for the countertops. It's not counting your grill. So there's by the time you're said and done, you're going to spend anywhere between $4,000 and $5,000 for a much smaller barbecue space than the one we have here, than the L-shaped one. You're going to have just a small little rectangle barbecue. You're going to spend about anywhere between $4,000 and $5,000. So this one probably total cost us maybe $1,800 to $2,000, including the barbecue, including the countertops, including the stone to wrap it. So including the front stainless steel doors. The whole thing probably costs us about, say, $2,000. So roughly, you're spending half and getting more of a barbecue. You're getting more island, more counter space, all that to go with it.
So if you're willing to put in the work, you can save a bunch of money.
Yeah, and it's not hard work. It's just work. You just got to put in the time. So anyway, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.